get it. We've been there.
We know how hard it is to be under pressure.
People are watching you and holding you accountable.
We know what it's like to be called out.
Expectations are set, and it's hard to even show up.
Whatever you do, don't let your guard down.
In these moments, we challenge you to rise up.
It's okay to crush a water.
Keep it social.
We get it. We've been there.
We know how hard it is to be under pressure.
People are watching you and holding you accountable.
We know what it's like to be called out.
Expectations are set, and it's hard to even show up.
Whatever you do, don't let your guard down.
In these moments, we challenge you to rise up.
It's okay to crush a water.
Keep it social.
We get it. We've been there.
We know how hard it is to be under pressure.
People are watching you and holding you accountable.
We know what it's like to be called out.
Expectations are set, and it's hard to even show up.
Whatever you do, don't let your guard down.
In these moments, we challenge you to rise up.
It's okay to crush a water.
Keep it social.
We get it. We've been there.
We know how hard it is to be under pressure.
People are watching you and holding you accountable.
And all of us command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
All right, you guys got me? All right. Let's go win a game now.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city.
All right, you are looking live at Wickwire Field on the grounds of beautiful Dalhousie University. It is Week 6, the final game of the regular season of the Atlantic Football League, and we're bringing it to you live here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Good afternoon, everybody. Dan Hobson. We have Ethan Greenham here along for the call here in this one. It's going to be a really tough task here for the St. John Falcons, still trying to find their first win. And the last time these teams met, it was a 64-0 win for Dalhousie over the Falcons. So your thoughts here on this one before we kick this one off on a Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, I agree with you there, and it is going to be a hard one over here for the Falcons, trying to come into Dalhousie after taking a big loss last time, getting the coin toss underway here, and captains getting ready. Have to think the preparation was completely different for the Falcons going into this one. Tigers, it had to stay the same with the big win last time and try to end the season off with another big win, doing pretty good in the standings as well.
And it's also a very big game here for Dalhousie thanks to the events of yesterday with the Holland College Hurricanes coming up with a win versus UNB 30-28, a very close contest yesterday. But that has set up here for pretty much Dalhousie here to really control home advantage throughout the AFL playoffs. If they can win this one today, they'll be hosting the semi and then basically have playoffs for the final if they get there. So it's a very big game here for them as well. So Holland College Hurricanes with that win go to 3-3, and for UNB 4-2. So a win and first place, and almost could be a little bit of a sample size of what we could see for the semis next week. These two teams could be going at it once again with playoffs up for grabs, a one and done sort of scenario.
There's last week's Offensive Player of the Week for the Falcons. Noah Brannon going to be the one kicking it down to Dalhousie to start this game off.
And they'll kick it to Lord to get things going, starting right around near his 20-yard line. He'll bring it up and going over to the near sideline. He's got a good return on his way up to midfield and into Falcons territory. So he gets about a good 35 and change on the kickoff. And you were talking about the offensive star for the Falcons last week. Here was not only offensively but special teams, Ethan Lord. And you can see why with that big reception, stopping it, bringing it to midfield stripe. So first possession of the game, great field position for the Dalhousie Tigers.
Yeah, what a job there by Dalhousie. You saw number 13, Nick Tarnagorski, able to make a huge block to open up the lane as well.
Also having a very good season here is Caden Kwong, the ball carrier, getting it up to the 44-yard line of the Falcons.
And that's just what Dalhousie's O-line is looking to do today. Great job blocking on their first carry of the game there.
Kwong had 21 carries for 83 yards last week versus UNB, but he also had a very big game last time these teams met, 20 carries for 150 yards, and that was all in the first half, and he has the ball once again up to the 35 into the 34, so the ground attack doing very well here for Dalhousie. 2 runs and 2 first downs.
We'll get another look at that. What a job able to create that hole there. Taking multiple Falcons defenders there to make that.
Well, if the formula's still working, you might as well keep going with it as Kwong has the ball once again.
Now, what a job by him to start this game.
As you said, he's had some very big moments for Dalhousie this season and against these Falcons. And here is Dalhousie pretty much getting it right into the danger zone here for Falcon fans back home in St. John, Newfoundland. Or New Brunswick, pardon me. Getting my St. John's all confused. Nothing as he went right up the gut.
Yeah, and that was the first carry of the game for Brennan Hines there. But 2 Falcons defenders able to get in. Greg Brown, number 54, and Nate Kinney, number 18. A great job by the Falcons, finally able to answer to this Tiger run game, but can't forget that was a switch-up of who was at running back.
Well, it's also important, like, to get that basically so that it doesn't become just a one-dimensional, we're going to hand it off to Kwong. They're basically sort of like game management, so they keep that in their mind so they don't have to start to do any cheating and things like that to, focus their eyes on Kwong, even though he's been pretty much carrying the bread this season. As Anderson's pass
is brought in there. Ethan Lord. Short reception, but able to still gain some yards there. On second down, you see right away rolling out to the right side was Anderson. And great coverage
Yeah, Kelson
there, but-
Dagler with the tackle there, pretty much sort of like a shoestring sort of tackle to stop what could have been a big play, and as you mentioned, turned out to be a short play.
It's 3rd down coming up now for the Tigers. Field goal team out.
Liam Massner will come in and kick the field goal here. Should be a chip shot for him. Down Main Street is good for 3 points there. So the drive sort of stalled. So for basically the Falcons, they should be pretty happy with that because Tigers had it pretty much at midfield stripe, took it down, got 2 first downs on it, right on first down plays, and then sort of stopped it. So it's a good start for them, but now let's see what their offense can do.
Yeah, tough to be down by 3 early, obviously, but definitely better than the touchdown. And as you mentioned, good that they were able to figure out something after giving up those first downs back there.
Logan
McName, yeah.
The QB here for the Falcons will get it kicked off 1st and 10. He'll call his own number here as he gets right up to the 39 for a gain of 4.
Get another look at that one on the replay. As he rolled out instantly. Nice job there by Aravelo, one of the graduating seniors here, and also the defensive player of the week last week for the Dalhousie Tigers. So able to make a tackle on the first play on the right road to do that again.
Tigers sending the unit, a pass picked off.
What a job there.
Connor Strample.
We'll see that again on the replay before Dalhousie takes possession over here on offense. First pass of the game for the Falcons. What a job there by Strample to just track down his man in man coverage to make that interception.
And it also, pass sort of got a little bit held up there, so that sort of course, allowed the defensive back there for the Tigers really to come in and make that play.
First down now.
Anderson opts there.
Able to get that to Tarnagorski.
Tornagorski also had a really good week last week. He had a big kick return in that game versus UNB. And it was an exciting game versus UNB last week, 23-20, an overtime win in week 5. And that has really given them the opportunity here to see if they can get first place as they'll hand it off to Kwong, the ball carrier.
What a job by the middle of that O-line so far in this game. Specifically, the center, Liam Johnston, has been able to take down the nose tackle pretty easily every single play. And it's just allowed the Tigers to be able to drive down the field on offense here in this first quarter. In gun formation again.
Anderson, lots of time, airs it out, and it's incomplete as they were looking for Connor McDonald that time.
It's a 3rd down coming up now for the Tigers after the missed pass.
Now, see with your Browns jersey that you have on today, so I got to ask you a question. Like, the defense has been pretty much on here for the good majority of the 5 minutes. It's definitely not really a great sign here for the Falcons to start, but they've only down by 3.
Yeah, they went for it there on 3rd down. Not able to get it.
Yeah, so Kwong stopped shy of the mark, and they have turned it over on downs.
So definitely not the start that the Tigers were expecting with such a big win earlier in the season.
Now I know.
The Falcons.
Sorry. Now I know that it is very early to say this, but I think that would really be helpful here is a real long drive here by the Falcons. They had 2 offensive plays, and the defense has been out there for 2 possessions here for the Tigers as McNamee hands it off. But really nothing there for Nathan Treitz.
There by the Tigers defense. And a tough second down for the Falcons now.
Also, another thing they probably want to stay out of is the second and long situations, and this is where they are at. So we'll see if the Tigers bring the heat on to Logan McNamee. Shotgun formation, second and long. McNamee airing it out. Has a man open, and he's brought it down into Tiger territory. Cody Carr, yes.
Into double coverage as well. What a beautiful job by him to get by. Get another look at that rolling out once again. And Strample and McCarty just not able to track down Cody Carr on the right side of the field. Great positioning here for first down for the Falcons.
Yeah, like you said, great positioning, but also like a great pass. Like it just, you couldn't get it into a better location there. You're McNamee. Tigers bringing the heat. McNamee has to hurry, and it's incomplete. As they were once again looking for Noah Brennan.
Yeah, offensive MVP last week for them, as we mentioned before. And a similar play called to the last one. Just not Cody Carr, the one running the fade route on the right side.
Second down. McNamee. Eluding some pressure. Now he'll have to turn on the Jets. And he gets to the outside and out of bounds.
No call, first down, yeah.
Enough to move the sticks, so this is just what they sort of ordered.
Big play here coming up on first down.
Now they've had some success here with McNamee at least getting out to the outside, getting out of the pocket, so maybe you put your playbook on and see what you think they may call. McNamee. Pass, caught. Crowley. Inside the 10.
And McNamee been hitting a wide variety of his receivers this time. Going to Tyler Crowley, as you mentioned a second ago. Even with pressure on him. What a job by Crowley. So many Tigers defenders around him, but able to just slip into that empty hole to make the reception.
McNamee, a really bad snap, but he'll go get it on a bounce. Had it momentarily on the turf. Who wants it? Picked up by the Tigers.
Oh, my goodness.
Logan Steves.
Yeah, number 90, Logan Steves, was the person who ended up picking that up. But there was a chance that McNamee, you see here, he had it for a second, lost it. Then it came out to Collins. McNamee just slipped too far. Logan Steves takes it over, 1st and 10 now.
That has to be sort of like deflating because they gave up 3. Were on the march, had a nice play down into the Tigers' red zone, and then an errant snap has turned it over as Kwong's the ball carrier once again for Dalhousie.
Yeah, very avoidable mistake there for the Falcons. As Kwong takes that carry there, and the quarterback, McNamee, back there to make the tackle.
Like you see, like sometimes with Atlantic Football League, that a lot of players also play defense as well as offense, and that's the case here as McNamee made that tackle.
A short run there on second down. Able to get the first.
Dante Gabrielli in at quarterback, so Tigers have sort of gone back with Anderson and Gabrielli, and they've gone back to Anderson again, and Anderson's pass is caught there. This time it was Gabrielli, so they're sort of doing like one of those Hill when Drew Brees was playing there with the Saints, sort of using those.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, basically used him as a receiver as well as quarterback, so it's like just lads all of a sudden an added extra thing for the Falcons to have to watch.
Yeah. You could even have a trick play, snapping it to him with him lined up. You got to be thinking about everything. There's a flag on the play there.
First one of the afternoon. Kwong, the ball carrier. We'll see if it stands for now. Sometimes you'll see this in the backfield. It's holding, and that's the case.
It's a tough break for the Tigers there.
We'll move the ball back to the Falcon 54. Will be 1st and 20. Anderson quickly out to Gabrielli, and all of a sudden he was feeling the heat as Sam Clements was right there, right in the kitchen of Anderson before he could even really get ready and set.
Yeah, just tried to run a short route near the O-line to the left side. But turned around just a second too late. Catch that one. Come up for 2nd and 20 now for the Tigers.
Shotgun formation for the Tigers. Anderson has lots of time, airs it out, and incomplete. They were looking for Taragorski again, just a little bit too far out of his reach, so it'll be 3rd down.
And a great coverage there by number 11, Cody Carr, for the Falcons, and he knows what it's like to make a big catch downfield in this game. Maybe some early contact there, but no flag on the play. So 3rd and 20 now as the punt team trots out.
Masser back at his 35-yard line. Carr right around his 35. One of the two potential receivers, and they will go over to Ben Coates. Coates just really much going up the gut, and he's smothered there by 6 or 7 Tigers.
Connor Strample looked like the main one, able to get in there for the tackle, number 24. Another look at that one. Going down there.
3:13 left to go here in the first quarter. Dow Tigers up by 3. 3rd offensive possession here for the Falcons. The first one they had 2 plays and then had the interception, and they had that long drive and ended up with the fumble. So looking to see if they could try to capitalize and maybe tie it here before the end of the first.
Yeah, Roman Thorne in at center right now. No, the snap has to be on his mind. Nice one there.
There's a screen pass set up there. Cody Carr. He'll get 7.
He's done a great job on both sides of the ball this game to start in the first quarter. Another look at that one sent to the right side. Tackle made by number 34, Cam Grover, the linebacker for the Tigers. One thing about Tigers this game, they haven't been blitzing too much. See, only 3 defenders going in there.
And they aired it out once again, picked off.
That's the advantage of only rushing 3. Able to have people back there to get the interception. What a job by Dalhousie, having turnovers on all 3 of the Falcons' drives to start this one. Another look at that.
Yeah, sort of like a hanging duck and Gabbana. Opportunist there for the orange and black, or the black and gold. Jumps up and brings it down. So we've seen a couple of passes there for McNamee that's sort of just been holding up there enough as we get back to live action. Kwong the ball carrier, but you see we've got some nylon on the ground, so we'll see if this play stands. Another holding call, Dalhousie.
So right back to the situation they were in before. A little bit better field position than last time. That's 1st and 20 once again. Trying to avoid the situation last time with the punt.
They're at the Falcons 48, shotgun formation, 2nd and 20. With the handoff to Kwong. Kwong gets to the outside, breaks a couple of tackles, now back into the middle. Close to the first down. Greg Brown brought him down, and based upon Ron Rivers saying it's a first down, so he gets just the necessary 20 and moves to sticks. So he's getting probably, keeps this pace on going. He'll be well over 100 yards before the end of the first half. Anderson puts it up, and that's picked off by Carr. Actually, he couldn't hold on to it.
Dropped.
Couldn't able, once he hit the ground, that's when it came loose. Let's watch it.
Would have been a beautiful one for Cody Carr. Get another look at that. Was in his hands. Just dropped it when he went to the ground. Him and Connor Levy. I don't believe they actually did get the first down. Looks like this is 3rd and short.
This side, they'll go Kwong with it. The penalty starting to rack up against the Tigers. They're 3rd of the game so far. This one for procedure call, and now it's decision time here for Coach McNamee. What's he going to do?
Special teams coming out here for the Tigers.
Haven't had a chance to mention the weather forecast for today is going to be a mix of sun and cloud. Going for about 16 degrees. We're right around 12 now. But with no wind, so not going to really affect her in the kicking game.
End up taking a punt there. It'll go back to the end zone.
They opt to bring it out, so they have a long field to go with.
I believe that was Tyler Crawley.
Yep, Crowley again. Taking it on a bounce and opted to come out, so he'll take it out, get it out to the 5 or 6 yard line there. Will be 1st and 10 for the Falcons. And so far, this is early in the game at their worst field position. 16 seconds to go.
And even with the 3 turnovers given up for the Falcons, what a job by their defense so far in this contest to only let the Tigers put up a field goal.
This could be the final play here of the first quarter. Tigers bring the heat. Ben Coates may be lucky to possibly get back to the line of scrimmage or a loss of 1. But that's how this first quarter comes to an end.
You see Aravelo get through there, but there was a flag called on the play against Dalhousie.
And, of course, you can't have the quarter come to an end on a penalty, so this if there is no penalty, should be the final play here of the first quarter. McNamee in shotgun. Calls his own number once again. Up to the 35. And in near to the 40, brought down at the 38-yard line. And that's how this first quarter comes to an end.
Nice job by Cam Grover to make the tackle, but you see McNamee able to shake off multiple Tigers defenders.
So the Falcons had probably that, maybe we'd have to say, we haven't had a chance to personally, you and I, see the Falcons a lot, but that was probably one of their better quarters, even though the time of possession definitely favored the Tigers to be only down by 3 after the opening 15. They'll take that any day.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing a lot like my Cleveland Browns. Very good so far on defense, but struggling on offense. Spin move there.
Ben Coates up to the 46, and that would be enough for a first down. That Coates a little slow to get up for the Falcons. Definitely one of the offensive weapons that the St. John Falcons have had today, Ben Coates, and really not good news for them, but hopefully it's just something that he can get worked on as we take a look at the Dalhousie Tigers. As I said, they have a chance to get first place in the Atlantic Football League with a win here today and host the playoffs. And this also has a chance to be a potential playoff game between these two teams, so they could see each other probably next week. Falcons can't really finish any higher than 4th because the season wrapped up for Holland, and they wrapped up with a 3-3 record. Right now, Falcons stand at 0-5, so they can't move up in the standings. And Dalhousie, with the win, as I said, really much can control their playoff fate and home dates with the win here today.
Have to feel good with the direction the Falcons are going today with how the score has gone in the first quarter, and definitely have to make Tigers think twice about what they thought could have been an easy matchup.
A.J. Irving almost whiffed the pick. He couldn't try to get that tip drill again to get a hand on it, but couldn't get the other one. As McNamee's having some difficulty getting passes into the secondary. 2 picks already and almost number 3.
It's hard there when the Falcons have had just pressure, been able to break through on both sides of the offensive line from the tackles so far in this game. Even with Dal, they've been rushing 3 quite a bit. Rushing 5 on this play. 2 backers sent. McNamee able to break through.
Yes, he does, and he gets into Dalhousie Tiger territory and has the first down and more. So his leg's doing a lot of work here. McNamee eludes the pressure and manages to get what could have been a loss into a gain and a first down.
And you see there 5 Tigers defenders were in behind and inside of that O-line in his pocket, but great awareness by McNamee. And he's been very good in the run game so far. And, I mean, fumble technically under his name, but snap was not his fault. So
McNamee once again trying to elude, but can't get away there from Logan Steves.
And Logan Steves, he was the one who got that fumble recovery earlier, and with him able to make that sack now.
Well, not only
the earlier replay of McNamee.
Sorry about that. I was saying about Steves had a very good week last week in UNB. And, I mean, this Dalhousie Tigers defense had 8 sacks versus UNB, and they have yet to really get to McNamee so far. Just 1, but as you said, that was as a result of the snap, and, of course, they ended up being the turnover, too. So
Second down.
Back to be up the gut, picked off Irving. If first you don't succeed, try and try again. He didn't get it on the tip drill, but this one was just right there in his eye vision, and he just got the pick.
And there was pressure in McNamee's face there. Throws into double coverage, and a great job by A.J. Irving to redeem that earlier play, just like you mentioned a second ago.
3 turnovers here for the Falcons.
Yeah, tough break with that long snap. 3 interceptions now.
Anderson
against McNamee's name.
hands it off to Kwong. Gets up to his 50-yard line.
Brady Hammond able to make that.
Good for 6, 2nd and 4. Anderson was 12 of 22 with 179 yards last week versus UNB, but had 2 interceptions. Eleven and a half left till halftime. Kwong right up the gut. He's got the first down more into Falcons territory down to the 50.
What a job blocking there by number 1, Ethan Lord, on the left side of the field. Get another look here on that play. Driving his head down.
And one of the things that probably hasn't really been talked a lot about Dalhousie Tigers, this offensive line all year have really allowed the lanes to open up for Kwong. And he's got it once again. Good for 7.
That's the power of the Dalhousie offensive line, able to get those extra yards there for the Tigers.
Well, they'll say 8, so it's 2nd and a short 2.
Is the combination of Hines and Matt Lawton there. Drive through the defensive line.
Anderson out of the pocket, out to Lord, and he manages to haul it in and bring it in and get the feet down, enough to move the sticks at a first down for the Tigers.
And get another look at that one. Play action play, able to slip by the defenders as they break through, and Ethan Lord able to get the feet down just before the out of bounds line, bring up first down here in great position.
1st and 10, Anderson hands it off to Kwong in the backfield. Kwong getting to the outside, a little bit of a stiff arm, back in.
That's the power of Caden Kwong on that play. Not afraid to throw his body on the line to get the extra yards. Another look at that. And you see there with the stiff arm,
Greg Brown sort of just with the shoulder knocked him down, made the tackle for the Falcons. 9 left here till first half, and Kwong it with some tough yardage that time there for the Tigers.
great job by the defensive line to not let him break free there. Brady Hammond along with Greg Brown. In on the tackle.
Well, yeah, Greg Brown having a very good game so far. At least 3 defensive tackles there for the Falcons.
Yeah, I have to think he's up there for defensive MVP so far in this game.
Anderson with time. Pass is incomplete. They're looking for Connor McDonald again.
Yeah, I have to get another look at that one. On that incomplete pass, Connor McDonald. Third down. Field goal team going to come out now for the Tigers, and with having 4 turnovers to their name, it has to be a tough break for them to be trotting out the field goal team here in the red zone once again. And even with scoring this, it's still a one-possession game if the Falcons can get it going. So able to make that one.
Yeah, it was a chip shot there right in the middle between the sticks, and Masner makes it to make it 6-0.
You hear the horn from the excited home crowd here at Dalhousie.
Well, it's a great crowd on hand here today at Wickwire Field. Parking really hard to find.
Yeah, absolutely. It was hard to find parking here actually 2 hours before the game for us. So great to see the support come out for the last regular season home game of the season.
So McNamee puts the offense back on the field here for the Falcons. First and 10 from the 35. And they'll hand it off, and nothing there that time there for Ben Coates. Good to see him back after being injured a few plays before.
Yeah, absolutely, and couldn't get anything going there, but important to have him back for the Falcons. Plays wide receiver, running back, and defensive back, so losing 3 positions at once is never a fun thing.
So another 2nd and long. Once again, still just barely on the 35-yard line. McNamee. Quick pass. Incomplete. Looking for Noah Brandon again. And it was more like he did just a good enough job just to try to knock it down and prevent another interception for the Tigers.
Yeah, and it looked like the right play was drawn up on there. Was a chance that Brandon could have caught that one. But a tough break for the Falcons once again.
2nd 2 and out for the Falcons, so they'll set the punt formation. And they'll set the punting unit out there. Clayton McClure.
And the defensive coordinator for the Falcons, Joel Cox, going to have to work once again.
Lord, the lone man back for the Tigers. And he catches it. Up to the 45, Lord now, up to midfield stripe, into the Falcons' territory. Flag down as Lord gets to the outside, brought down just shy. He almost returned it right back to the original line of scrimmage there for the Falcons. But as we said, flag down on the play.
It looks like it will be a holding call against Dalhousie. So they'll go back 10 yards from the spot of the flag.
Well, they've had great field position here, the Tigers, in this game so far. They've been pretty much starting right around midfield and right about here, but only have 6 points to show for that. 1st and 10 from their 51. This time they will go to Hines, the ball carrier. As they switch it up, and he gets 9.
Nice job by Brennan Hines, and he struggled a few times in this game, but these last 2 carries have been really nice for him. So you get another look at that play.
This time they'll go to Hines once again. He's got the 1st down and more as he gets 5 on that, and that's sending it down the field, and another 1st down for the Tigers.
And another great job by the offensive line, able to create enough room for the 1st down there for the Tigers. And over halfway done with this 2nd quarter.
Hines once again as they sort of back-to-back carries, and this time he gets another close to 9. 8 to be precise, so it's a 2nd and a short 2 again.
Yeah, if it works once, clearly they want to use it again over here for the Tigers. Brennan Hines in the backfield Again, see what the call is here.
Oh, there's a bad stop, and Anderson picks it up, so he'll call his own number, and it'll just slide down as he got to the first down marker and just went down rather than try to make more and turn it over or even potential injury, so he gets the first down.
Yeah, very smart play there from Anderson. Some quarterbacks would just panic and try to throw the ball away there, but he knew right away when he picked it up it was time to run. He saw the hole. He slid right as he got the first down.
Hines again into the secondary of the Falcons, and a flag goes down, and based upon Anderson's reaction after that, this one's coming back. Yep.
Tigers moving back now.
Pretty much like once that they might have saw it there on the replay, the end of the play, Anderson, you can see a little something with the hand to say, yeah, this one's coming back. And that was the case.
So still first down, but now 1st and 20.
Less than 5 to go in the first half. Pass caught by Lord. It's amazing that Sam Clements didn't get his hands on that sort of like very short pass.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I was watching that there. Another look. Ethan Lord, as we mentioned a few times in this game, offensive MVP last week, and has made a few short plays in this one. Being tackled by Connor Levy there.
That's a long possession. They go to Kwong again on the outside, trying to break loose of Kenny there. Held up, but might be enough to get the first down.
Yeah, and you see at the end of the play, even after the whistle, Kwong doesn't want to accept that it's over. Another look at that.
Flag down too, so.
A great job by Nate Kinney there to not give up when wrapping up on Kwong on that play. 3rd down coming up.
And another holding penalty, so within like 3 or 4 holding calls against the Tigers here this first half, and Freddie Diab will send the punting unit out, baby, here to try to pin the Falcons down. So you can pretty much know that Mazur's going to try to corner this and probably pin the Falcons down deep.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a switch up of their previous matchup. Just 6-0 here.
Coates Caddy.
He's tackled there. End up being a rouge.
Yeah, as he couldn't get out of the end zone, he was trying, but you see there's like 3 or 4 Tigers in there on the tackle. One of them Cam Grover. The results at a single point, 7-0. So all those possessions that the Tigers have had, haven't been able to really, punch it into the end zone, but they do have 7 points on the board. So
yeah, it is a touchdown lead, but them having over 60 points last time they met up. Have to feel a little bit distraught with how the offense has gone.
Well, this is also a St. John Falcon team that has been improving week by week. And 1st and 10. Nathan Treitz, the ball carrier, up to the 40.
And able to use some power there to push off Sam Martin momentarily. One of the graduating players here for the Dalhousie Tigers. Number 33. 2nd and 6 coming up now.
From the 39.
There's the 3-minute warning here for the first half of play.
Really important here for the Falcons here to at least try to come away with 3. McNamee calls his own number, and he'll come up shy, so it'll be decision time here for Coach Scott McNamee. Looking at about a 3rd and a 3. 3rd and 3. And he'll send the punt unit out.
Yeah, tough break for the Falcons here with just over 2:30 to go in the first half.
And that's not really what the doctor ordered, because like we talked about the Dalhousie Tigers coming down, and yes, they ended up getting a point as a result of the Falcon player not able to get out of the end zone. It was a long drive for them. That was just another second back-to-back 2-0 for the Falcons. So that's definitely wearing. Their defense has been on this field a lot here in this first half here.
Yeah, and absolutely. And they're a team that has players on offense and defense, and especially when you have your quarterback out there on defense, you know that there's nobody more that wants to not be out there than Logan McNamee, but they just haven't been able to connect so far in this game. As you see, Ethan Lord with a nice carry up the right side off the punt. Just over midfield now, chance for the Tigers.
Yeah, this is where they've been sort of starting their possessions right around midfield, the 50, 55. This one's going to be at the Falcons 53, 1st and 10. Anderson. Back out to Lord. The catch and run to the outside should be good for 13.
Yeah, Ethan Lord is definitely starting to heat up.
Actually, 9 to be precise, so my apologies. 2nd and 1. Sorry, didn't mean to.
No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a job by Ethan Lord in this game so far. He's just been able to get absolutely open a few times.
They call Hines' number. He's got the first down, but there's more pink nylon on the field. See if this stands.
We'll see the call here.
And Tigers are marching back, and now the officials are as well. Getting there to like 4 or 5 holding calls here on the offense.
Was a holding call again.
Well, it happened, as they said, after the play, so they'll still keep the ball, but they won't get the yardage, but they'll be almost returning right back where they started from this time, from the 52, where it's 1st and 10. Screen pass, Hines, great recovery to come up with it. It was actually practically behind him when he made the catch, Ethan.
Yeah, what a job there by Brennan Hines as we get another look thrown to the right side as there was pressure right away from the Falcons, and as you mentioned a second ago, had to reach behind him to make that play. A short 2nd down coming up for the Tigers.
They've had a lot of 2nd and 2s, and here it is again. Hines with the handoff into the Falcons secondary. He's got the first down and more. Brought out just shy of the Falcons 30.
And a great job by the offensive line here by the Tigers. Another great run for them, and they've really switched up their run game to Brennan Hines as the main runner now.
Oh, knocked down on a nice play there by Nate Kenny as they were sort of like faked and tried to set it up, sort of almost like that play to Brennan Hines earlier, but he gets a hand on it and knocks it down.
Yeah, you get another look at that one. Nate Kinney wasn't able to get enough on it to catch it, but great first down play for the Falcons. Timeout being called here.
Though this is a very tired St. John Falcons defense. Been on the field a lot there because the time of possession heavily in favor of the Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've seen right away the team didn't even run over the bench, try to discuss with the team. It was just one of their teammates running out there with the water bottles to make sure the defense is ready to go for this last 1:15 of the second quarter.
And another point, too, is that there's some players that you mentioned about some players playing 3 positions, so they're playing 2 offensive and 1 defensive position. So you'd have to think that some of these players have been out there for almost like the full 30 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I played a little bit of high school football myself, and playing offensive line and defensive line all game is certainly very tiring. So can't imagine what it would be like playing quarterback, receiver, and defensive
so tell
back.
us some of the things that you did to try to keep fresh there when you were basically playing both sides of the ball there.
Well, I was nice catch there. Get back to that in a second.
Connor McDonald.
Yeah, I did play center, so I had the blessings of my coach able to call lots of double team plays, try to keep me fresh. And on defensive tackle, and obviously you want to get in there for the sack every play, but it was more to make sure that the other guys were kind of distracted on me and the bigger guys could get through.
Hines, the ball carrier, brought down there by McClure.
Yeah, another carry from Brennan Hines in this game. First down, or second down.
They've been in a lot of 2nd and 2, 2nd and short. This one's 2nd and 3.
Hines in the backfield again, and got it there. Hines, nice spin move.
And he just rumbles and bumbles and gets it in for the Tigers' touchdown.
What a job by Brennan Hines in this second quarter, and nobody more deserving, it feels like, to get on the board first for the Tigers as he sweeps off the tackle from Nathan Trites on that play. The field goal coming up here. Huge for them to get the 2-possession lead at the end of the first half.
Gabrielli to hold the snap there by Masser. It's good. Tigers now have a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0 with 41 seconds left to go till halftime.
And the crowd certainly very happy about that one.
Now, it wasn't like you were saying about how they've gone to Hines here. It wasn't really anything to do with his play. It was just giving a little bit of a different look.
Yeah, absolutely. Different look has definitely worked for them. Have to think they'll stick with him, though, now going on. But it's a shame sometimes that the offensive line doesn't get credited with touchdowns, because what a job they have done.
Yes, they
in
have.
this
It's
first
like
half.
pretty much they've been like down there, and that's just allowed Hines and Kwong really to get that. And it's one of those that's a great point you brought up. I wanted to say it in the broadcast that, yeah, this offensive line there for the Tigers has gone really underneath the radar this season.
Liam Masner kick it down to the Falcons. See if they can get something going to end.
Carr and
first.
Trites back. Coates on a bounce picks it up off the Wickwire turf. And a few extra whistles there. I guess the referee was seeing if his whistle was still working. That it is.
Yeah, just 20 seconds left in the half. starting to heat up a little bit between these two teams, and as you mentioned before in this broadcast, likely going to meet again if Dalhousie can come away with the win in this one. So playing back-to-back certainly would get the flares going up even more.
Well, there's nothing like, like it doesn't matter whether sport you're talking about. If you're playing a team that back-to-back, it just grows a little bit of a hate.
They'll just have 23 seconds to get down, so I have to think they'll be going for sideline throws here.
First and 10, McNamee. Hands it off to Trites. Connor Strapple down there, one of the first to meet Trites.
Likely just another run play with that decision to end the first half after the Trite carry.
Good for 5, 2nd and 5. Barring a penalty, this should be the final play here of the first half. On a 2nd and 5 here for the Falcons. Dright's just happy just to take a knee, and that's how this first half comes to an end.
Halftime here.
3 turnovers there for the Falcons, but only 14 points to show. So let's get your thoughts here on the first half before we take a break.
Yeah, absolutely. The Falcons need to come out stronger on offense. They've had a strong game defensively, but as you mentioned, those turnovers, Dalhousie able to bring in few interceptions in this one, along with the missed snap early in this game that went back, ended up in a fumble. So we'll see how they can recover in this second half, but having a better performance than their previous matchup against Dalhousie. They've been improving all season, so.
Yes. So you see the Dalhousie Tigers walking off. They've got a 14-point lead in the final game of the regular season. In the final week, you're watching the AFL on Maritime Athletic Profiles.
get it. We've been there.
We know how hard it is to be under pressure.
People are watching you and holding you accountable.
We know what it's like to be called out.
Expectations are set, and it's hard to even show up.
Whatever you do, don't let your guard down.
In these moments, we challenge you to rise up.
It's okay to crush a water.
Keep it social.
We get it. We've been there.
We know how hard it is to be under pressure.
People are watching you and holding you accountable.
We know what it's like to be called out.
Expectations are set, and it's hard to even show up.
Whatever you do, don't let your guard down.
In these moments, we challenge you to rise up.
It's okay to crush a water.
Keep it social.
We get
All right, welcome back to Wickwire Field. The Dalhousie Tigers leading by 14. Dan Hobson, and we have Ethan Greenham along for the call here in this one. For the Dalhousie Tigers, probably you look at the scoreboard, they could be up by more, but it hasn't been a solid fundamental game for them, but they have managed to win the turnover battle. Your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Having multiple interceptions in the first half was crucial for them, but they weren't really able to capitalize off of them on those 3 drives, getting a field goal out of it. So now up by 14. They did have the late touchdown at the end of half, but if they can keep these turnovers coming from the Falcons side, then they got to start putting up some more points here. And on the Falcons side of the ball, mentioning those turnovers, they have struggled heavily on offense. And a team like the Falcons, they have a lot of players on offense and defense playing here, especially their quarterback, Logan McNamee. And you want to make sure he is rested later in this game. You see him right there. And it takes a lot out of your quarterback when he has to be chasing tackles all game. And haven't been able to produce very many long drives in this one. And when they have got down there,
One of the things
that turnovers.
One of the things that has hurt the Dalhousie Tigers is that they have taken 4 or 5 offensive holding penalties in this, and that has really sort of set them up for some times that they had second and long, and it has really also taken away when they've had their second and short. They've gotten the first down, but it's then called back because of penalties, and it's happened 4 or 5 times here today for them. So, as I said, it's for the Falcons, they're happy to be sort of just trailing by 14, and for the Tigers, I think, well, we could be up by more if we sort of were a little bit more disciplined. So,
yeah, absolutely. And one thing we were mentioning in the first half is how good the Tigers' O-line has been, and sometimes penalties can come with that. But if they can find out how to stop getting these holding calls on the offensive line, then they should have a smooth sail to victory here in this last regular season game.
Masner to kick it off. Fielded on a bounce there by Brennan. And not much there, as he may have got 3 or 4 on the return. Takes it up to his 33-yard line. Also, thing that I think probably the Falcons want to do is have a little bit longer offensive possessions here, because time possession heavily in favor of the Tigers at first half. So that's a tired defensive unit. So I'm sure that Coach McNamee wants his crew here to have at least a good, solid clock possession here, so they can get their defense a little bit more rested.
Yeah, absolutely. And This could be one of the most crucial drives of the game for the Falcons, and right away.
Trites with nothing.
Tough break for the Falcons there, and see McNamee give it off right away. And nothing Nathan Trites can do about that. O-line just collapsing.
Now, second and long situation, and the last two plays of the first half there for the Falcons were 2 and out. They're trying to prevent their third straight. They go up the middle and almost picked off. Is Jabunna had one in this game already and almost had a second. It was like right in his kitchen. Watch it.
Yeah, another look there at Jabunna's attempt and just couldn't get it. Almost looked like for a second on the replay to the viewers at home like he might have, but dropped down to the ground and bounced back up into his hands. That's third down. Comes up now. The punt team out now for the Falcons, and
Crowley back and Lord, the lone man, back near midfield. And actually he's got to go back and play the field possession game and
end up taking the safety there. So that'll make it 16-0 here for the Tigers. And still technically 2-possession game, but the road comes a little bit harder for the Falcons, and very tough start for them.
there was a lot of that in their game in that 64-0 game. That there were a lot of times that New Brunswick was conceding safeties and things like that. They did it about 4 times in the game, so they're definitely trying to play the field possession game. Anderson airs it out. McDonald has it, and he's brought down by the 40-yard line of the Falcons.
What
As
a
he
job.
brought it down, yeah, exactly.
Connor McDonald, number 81, moving on the left side of the field, and they found success with some of these longer routes earlier in the first quarter of action. Donald happy with that one.
Josiah Cormier there with the tackle by the ankles. Kwong with the ball. Has 10, and he still keeps on rumbling and bumbling and brought down.
And Caden Kwong, he didn't have many carries in the second quarter. Ended up giving it to Brennan Hines a few times, but the talk at halftime certainly must have worked for Caden Kwong, and he's back out there, running back. The strong run there, able to get first down. Have to think they might go back to him again.
Well, look at that. You called the play, and pretty much Kwong to the outside. Into near the red zone area.
Yeah, and that's the Caden Kwong that the Tigers fans certainly love and know. Number 18, great job again by the offensive line to create a hole on that left side.
First and goal from the 7.
That's Trondez Sparks, 51 and 65. Shogbamu been very strong, holding that left side down.
Screen almost set up, but it's incomplete as it goes off the fingertips of Kwong. Otherwise, he would have been able to walk into the end zone.
Another look at that. Nobody covering Caden Kwong, and hard to believe that's even a thing with how good the running backs have been in this game for the Tigers.
Yeah.
But
You've seen it in this sport in the past. It's like you're the only person to beat, and then you end up dropping the pigskin. Kwong up the middle and in for the touchdown.
and the Tigers with an almost perfect start to this second half. Caden Kwong scoring his first of the game, number 18. Both the running backs getting in for the Tigers for their 2 touchdowns. Feels like I'll never stop mentioning the Tigers O-line on these plays, but what a great job by them.
Masner. It's good. They get it 23-0. Like, if you're the Tigers, like, yeah, and you're a Tigers fan, you're sitting back watching, and it's like, this is like the perfect November game. It's like a ground attack, not lots in terms of errors. It's just been a matter of Kwong and Hines here pretty much throughout that have really allowed them to get the success. So, as I said, it's almost like a perfect game in November, even though that the weather is really great today for football. It's not raining, there's no wind, or
Yeah.
even snow, if I want to say that as well.
Absolutely, and run game been so consistent. And Anderson, he's had a solid game at quarterback. He's made some long throws in this one, but that's just what Tigers like to do when they get close. They just love running the ball when they're near because they know it works so well in the red zone.
Crowley and Brennan back for this Masner kickoff. But usually this is when sometimes the Dalhousie Tigers football team, Ethan, really sort of have really good second halves, as it's brought down there by Brennan. And
Great
he's just shy of the
coverage
30.
there. Yeah, another play where Falcons aren't able to get anything going, and tough field position for them once again. And you've said a few times in this game, Dalhousie been able to start midfield for a lot of their drives and showing on the scoreboard now especially. And with the 0 still on the board for the Falcons, have to start getting something going on offense, but as well with the kick returns and the punt returns. Those are forgotten plays that can be crucial in these games.
Falcons coming off a 46-13 loss as they air it out, and that is incomplete as they were looking for Crowley, but it was sort of like double team on the coverage there for the Tigers.
It's another incomplete pass for the Falcons, and 2nd and 10 coming up in fear of having to punt it away once again, possibly even taking a safety another time with how close they are to the end zone. So big play coming up for Logan McNamee here.
2nd and 10 from their 30-yard line. Empty backfield, pretty much. Gun formation. McNamee saying spread out. Now he has to turn on the Jets. Flag down, and imagine this one will be coming back. The flag came right on the tail end as he was running towards the outside, so probably one of the Dow Tigers was held in the process by the Falcons. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, if the call is against the Tigers, however, it will be a first down, but we'll have to see.
And it's going against the Tigers, so don't have an official statistician, but I think that's going to be like 7 flags to 1. And not sure what the yardage would be. Maybe getting close to almost to 100 yards worth of penalties here for the Tigers here today.
Yeah, absolutely, with that legal conduct play, or legal contact.
1st and 10 from the 36. McNamee airs it out. Pass is caught in.
Did he stay in there?
It looks to be as he sort of walks the tightrope. Ben Coates just in front of our cameras here.
And while it was a nice play, tough break.
Coming at you. That's great, amazing, of course, in the Canadian football. You don't have to get both feet down. You just have to get one.
Yeah.
And it was just great just to walk the tightrope. And McNamee, at times here today, has really sort of thread the eye of the needle in that case. That was the case that time.
Let's see what he can cook up here again.
1st and 10 from their 47.
Read option play.
He'll get just about 7. as he calls his own number once again.
A great fake there by McNamee. Able to trick the Dalhousie line. Another look at that one.
It's a family thing here for the McNamees here because Logan, of course, the quarter. General manager is Melissa, and Scott is the coach. So it is a family-run team here. So just 2nd and 4 from their 53. McNamee tried to go low inside there. They tried to hit Brennan. That throw was really shy, and he skipped it off the turf.
Another look at that throw to last week's offensive MVP for the Falcons, Brennan. They'll decide to stay out there. It feels like the right decision, you know. This is where Dalhousie has started quite a few drives, so them being down on the board, willing to take the risk. I like the call.
Coach McNamee going for it on 3rd and 4. McNamee calls his own number. Can he stretch? Tried to get the ball out.
Gonna be a close call.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Line judge, and he's actually granted it there, so he got the hand extension out, and that really helped in terms of help to move the sticks because he was going to be, based on body position, short of the first down.
What a job by Logan McNamee. We'll see that he was able to just stretch his arm out there. And he has a similar play style to an NFL player guy, also wearing number 6 Jackson Dart with a play like that.
1st and 10. This time he'll air it out, and there could be pass interference going against Sam Martin.
The crowd not liking that call here at Wickwire Field.
Dalhousie penalized for pass interference.
The first down from the 45 at the spot of the foul. And a new set of downs here for the Falcons. So this is sort of what they needed there. They had 3 2-and-outs, and this time they've managed to convert 3 first downs, looking to convert their 4th. Here's a 1st and 10. McNamee once again. He's going to be shy as he's going to be brought out maybe with a 1-yard loss as he tried to get to the sticks. Was angled out there by Sam Martin.
Yeah, barely a yard on that play. Another read option call. Dalhousie saw it this time.
Also Matt Irvine there on the force out of bounds. Well, based upon where his body position is, I thought he might have got a yard loss, but he's at least got 1 yard, so it's a 2nd, but it's a 2nd and long 9. McNamee airs it out. Oh, and a nice defensive play there by Matt Irvine because Cody Carr thought he had it and it just sort of like spiked it volleyball style down to the turf.
And you see Cody Carr claiming that he was face masked on that play to the referee after. He had to pull his helmet down after that one, so.
Well, with it being 3rd and 9, Coach Scott McNamee has put out the punting unit. Crowley just over the midfield stripe. And once again, just one man back, Ethan Lord there for the Tigers. Right around his 10. End over end spinning kick. Going to be fielded on a bounce there by Lord.
Able to give him 5 yards there.
Yep.
You saw the Falcons players backing up, not wanting to get a flag there, but looks like they may have got one.
Well, it's definitely no yards because they didn't give him the necessary 5 yards, but it's only going to be a 5-yard penalty because it was on the bounce, so. We'll take the ball up to the 42. maybe not the best kick of the day there for Crowley. It was a really end-over-end kick, and in an attempt to maybe pin the Tigers deep in their territory, they're going to start off, and it's amazing that we're going to say this, their worst field possession at the 42.
Yeah, but even then, able to start the run game right away. Again, Caden Kwong with the run there on first down. That's the thing about this run game and the O-line for the Tigers. You saw there, Trondez Sparks there, number 51, able to get to the second level, the linebackers there, and that is so key with being able to break away for long run plays. Toss there.
They hand it out to Kwong. He's going here to the near side in the midfield. Gets an elbow brought down there by Trite. And he's feeling it after he got the elbow high. Trying to shake that off. Doing his best Taylor Swift impression.
Great job by Caden Kwong. He's a little shaken up after that play. He decided to take a knee.
Kwong going to be attended to. And this is definitely a little bit of anxious moments here for Tigers and Tiger fans. Seeing their running back needing some attention here. And of course in AFL football, he'll have to go off for 3 plays before returning as he gets applause here from the Wickwire faithful.
Glad to see he was able to get up relatively quickly after that one. As you see Anderson go to the huddle.
It was week 3 that Anderson took over the quarterback duties from Dante Gabrielli, and it's been hard to get him out of that, and he's sort of taken the job and run with it. Anderson on the 1st and 10. Swings over. Turnagorski deep down as he gets it past the 35 and down near the 30-yard line. That's good for 18.
And it's been a little bit since Nick Turnagorski has gotten the ball. Had some targets in the first half. Nice catch on a short route up the left side into the middle for another first down.
Hines the ball carrier. He's going to have to carry a little bit of work of the load. He'll just go up the gut. And once again, this ground attack that the Falcons have no answer for gets the first down and more.
Great job by Brennan Hines. And see him able to evade a tackle near the defensive line. One of them broke through there. And as you just mentioned before, this run game so good in the red zone.
Hines again. Goes up to the middle. And they get the first down. There's nothing really fancy about it. It's just like you pretty much know they're going to just hand it off and go up the middle.
Yeah, head down football for Brennan Hines as PA announcer here at Wickwire Field just announced momentarily. With another first down, have to think, be giving it to Brennan Hines one more time for the touchdown.
Well, you're good because it's been Hines once again. Hines to the outside and in for the touchdown.
Yeah,
Forget about being a commentator, be a coach. Calling the plays.
I might have to be a lottery ticket buyer with the plays I'm calling right now, but Brennan Hines, he has done a great job behind this Dalhousie O-line, and they have started to clean up the holding penalties in this second half. See Matt Lawton there in at tight end. Beautiful design on the O-line. Give a surprise to the defensive tackle as he pops out on the pole from around the guard for another Dalhousie touchdown.
30-0. 16 points here so far in the third quarter. They had 14 in all of the first half. So
it's a field goal made there as we were talking about that touchdown, making it 30-0 now. Great job by Dow with just 4:57 left.
now what's interesting here is you know that you have a playoff game next week. So if you're Coach Diab, what do? Are you going to try to basically here in the fourth quarter try to maybe rest those starters? You got that rest versus rust sort of thing, even though it's a matchup next week against your same opponents that you're going to be facing here right now, the Falcons. So it's, well, what do you do to prevent injury, but also what do you do to still stay sharp for next week's game?
Yeah, it's a tough decision coming up here for Dalhousie on what they'll do with the starters. I have to believe they'll keep them out for these last 5 minutes of the third quarter, and then things may change. Also, with it being the last regular season game of the season, maybe want to get in a few guys who haven't had as much opportunity. Some of the fresher guys, some of the new guys.
Maybe graduating players.
Absolutely, graduates. But I believe times like now is good point to kind of see what could be a part of the team next year, even with the end of the regular season, having a lead like this.
So the field possession keeps getting worse here for the Falcons. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 25. Their best has been right around the 40, but they have a deep field to work with again. McNamee, once again, gets a stiff arm, but it's no big deal there to Strample. Gets the arm up, but still makes the tackle.
And another tough second down situation for the Falcons as McNamee rolled out there and just couldn't find anything on that one. Connor Strample in for the tackle.
Well, it's getting to be another second and long, so it has the potential to be like the air attack on its way here for the Falcons.
So
and almost
second
like,
and
yeah,
19.
Yeah, second and 19, so it almost like works to be almost like a holding penalty, -1 yard. Low snap this time. McNamee picks it off the turf, puts it up, incomplete.
Yeah, he was hit on the throw there by Sam Martin.
Yeah, Martin was pretty much right there. There's that snap.
He's one of the graduating players here for Dalhousie, playing his last regular season home game.
And once again, this time Crowley will go back to about maybe at the really end at his in his own end zone here to take this punt.
Have to think they're probably taking a safety. Yeah, they end up doing that.
Yeah, they've been trying to play this field possession game, hoping to keep it near the midfield stripe. The Tigers have had their best possessions at the midfield stripe, but they've been sort of pinned down their own end, so this is the second time they've given up a safety here, so it makes it 32-0.
Tough break for them.
As the Tigers are getting closer and closer here to clinching first place in the Atlantic Football League and clinching home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And they've made a change at quarterback as Dante Gabrielli has come in here.
You see Caden Kwong back out there, who made the carry. Glad to see him after the injury. We'll see what Gabrielli can do here at quarterback. We saw in the first half there was those few plays on that one drive where him and Anderson were back there together.
Gabrielli's had a lot of success in the Truro Minor Football League and then moved up to CEC and was their starting quarterback. His Cougars having a very good season in school sport Nova Scotia football. They sit fourth. Had a tough loss versus Citadel last week at home, but we're leading 9-0 with 27 straight points by Citadel. So that's a solid program that Cobequid has put on the field this year, and Gabrielle is one of the alumni from that. As Kwong has the ball, 45-yard line up to the 52-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to high school football like you've been talking about, there's been some crazy matchups over in Nova Scotia this year. Mentioning Citadel as well. It was a 43-13 game earlier in this season with CPA, who's been number 1 ranked for the province so far.
Yeah, CP Allen putting out some good players that are going to be potential to possibly play in this league next year, or even AUS football, or that's incomplete.
Absolutely. They have 27 graduating players coming out of the Cheetahs, and up until last week they were averaging over a point a minute, so they have had quite a phenomenal season.
A rare punt here going to be for Masner. 2 and out.
Yeah, we saw that pass attempt to Connor McDonald on the last play. It wouldn't go.
High kick by Masner, brought down there by Coates. Coates still going, a little bit of extra pushes after the whistle's gone.
Max Parker took a big dive trying to make the tackle on that play.
Okay, so we've seen the Falcons there pretty much. McNamee has called his own name. Could they maybe try to switch up and give a little bit of a different look? Because Dow's sort of expecting it now. So would you just like to throw a wrinkle into things here and make it a little bit of a different look?
It's hard because they have found success earlier in the game.
Just like that, they get the screen pass to Cody Carr. So that helps.
Nice catch there by number 11, Carr,
Yep,
along
good.
the right sideline. He just had a short route there.
Drew
Crawled
Kinley
back.
brought him down by the numbers. Just grab anything, get your hand on anything, and brought the player down. So it's going to be a second and short. They've had a lot of second and longs, but McNamee also had that great conversion on third down where he stretched the arm. You'd love that play as much as I did. Just fighting there just to get that first down. And
Yeah, that was definitely a great play. They give it to him again.
Was diving, but he had it. The Tigers were sort of still in tackling mode, so they're going to add about 15 on here for unnecessary roughness.
McNamee.
He was trying to
Pretty
slide.
excited.
Yep, sliding, but it's going to still basically, he got the first down, and then you had the 15. We'll take the ball up to the 55.
Yeah, he had no problem getting hit as he was sliding. He wants to see his team put some points up on the board against the Tigers here. Just 28 seconds left in the third.
First down, Falcons at center field.
McNamee out of the pocket. Makes a couple of nice moves to get 3 yards. Almost had the potential to be a big loss, and he turned it into a gain of 3.
And he's certainly called his name more than they've been handing it off to anybody else.
There was the 15 yards added on play, and second and 7. McNamee, empty backfield. McNamee puts it up.
Oh, my
Touch made.
goodness.
Did he make it?
No, out of bounds, but yes, an excellent catch nonetheless, but it won't count there for Ben Coates as he stretched out, but unable to stay in the field of play.
Another look at that one from Ben Coates. Oh, it was so close. What a chance for the Falcons.
And that was the final play of the third quarter, and what a third quarter it was for the Tigers. They came in the quarter 14-0 and have scored 18 points here and have a 32-0 lead after 3 quarters of play. So they're going to switch ends and have a third down play when fourth quarter kicks off here in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
But a really good quarter for them. Like, this is a team that sort of gets stronger in the second half all year long, and that's the case in point here today.
Yeah, we've certainly seen that here as we take a look at some of the plays from the third quarter of this game.
So here we are, 15 minutes left in the AFL season. And the kick is a line drive kick and caught on the run there by Lord. Lord getting up to midfield stripes, has a couple of blocks down into Falcon territory. In the meantime, Crowley slow to get up, flag down. Could there be a running into the kicker or roughing the kicker? Possibly.
Looks like unnecessary roughness.
As Crowley is still slow to get up for the Falcons.
Looks like he's taking injury timeout here for Tyler Crowley.
As we watch again, like I was following Lord, let's see what happened.
Looks like he got hit there.
Basically they just kept on going and didn't try to get out of his way. So you have a funny feeling that this is going to
And you saw in the
well, they've had offsetting penalties, so it sort of just wipes the slate, clean off the slate.
Yeah,
So
I believe those were between number 5 on the Falcons, Aiden Barnett, and number 52 over on the Tigers, Xavier Kays. Scrapping there in the middle of the field. And it looks like Barnett was really just trying to defend his kicker, Crowley, after that.
Feel like a broken record, Ethan, saying this all day, but they have good field position right around the 50s, the 52 again, 1st and 10. But it will be the Falcons that will have it, so they'll keep possession of it as a result of the penalties here. McNamee airs it out, and it's picked off. Matt Irvine with his second.
What a job by Irvine in this game. Graduating senior number 29 for the Tigers. So we'll get another look at that play. McNamee trying to hit his man Cody Carr on the left side, but the coverage just too strong for the Tigers in this one. Turnovers keep racking up for the Falcons. And one of the worst field positions to start now for the Tigers. They've had such strong earlier in this game.
Gabrielli hands it off. Boy, that's some tough yards, and a flag coming down at near the end of the play.
See who that comes against on the run.
Hines. It's been like sort of like a really great game for Hines. He's gone up the middle, and sometimes it's been speed, and then sometimes he's just like keeping the legs going and taking tacklers with him.
Yeah, he has done a very good job, and he tends to team up with one of the guards when he's running, trying to make sure he can just stay behind them, have that little bit of extra protection while they're pushing down. as the flag comes against the Tigers.
First and 10 Tigers from the 35. Hines a lone man in the backfield. Gabrielli, and he'll hand it off to Hines. Hines just gets back to the line of scrimmage and might have been pushed back for a loss.
And that was Brady Hammond along with Greg Brown, and I've said that before, able to make the tackle at the line for the Falcons on that play. 2nd and 9 coming up for Dalhousie.
Was tough fight for Hines just to get that one, a 2nd and long here, as you said.
See if they throw it with Gabrielli here.
Gabrielli with the fake. Gabrielli getting to the outside, turning on the Jets. He's up to the 45, the 50 to midfield. Van brought down near.
He was able to get around Connor Levy as they got around midfield there. It takes Nathan Treitz to make that last shove on Gabrielli.
Good for 17. 1st and 10 for the 54. Matthew Thomas with some touches here. He had 6 carries, 63 yards against the Falcons in the 4th quarter of the last time that they met.
Yeah, so getting his first carry there. We'll see if he can start racking up some more now. Already up by 32. They'll run it with him again.
This ground attack there, it doesn't matter whether it's Hines, Kwong, or Thomas. It has been, they have just been able just to run up the gut and get the first downs. Like in terms of the passing numbers for both Anderson and Gabrielli, not much, probably not even close to the 100 mark, because this ground game for Dalhousie has just been cooking with gas.
Yeah, absolutely. And them losing Brennan Hines next year, being a senior. There's a nice pass there.
As soon as that's Connor McDonald on the go. Gave it the announcer's jinx there. Said we haven't aired out the ball a lot, and what do they do next play? Air it out.
Yeah, nice play by Connor McDonald, number 81. Catch it on the left side of the field. Gabrielli starting to get involved in the passing game now. Another look at that one. As I was mentioning before, with them going to be losing Brennan Hines after this season, them able to have Kwong and along with Matthew Thomas as the future backfield.
Thomas.
It's good to see Thomas gain yards on these plays as he gains a few on that first down.
Brought down there by Nate Kinney. He's 2nd and 7.
Gabrielli now.
Gabrielli once again hands it off to Thomas. Cuts back into the middle. Close, as they say, to a first down. Right around the 4 yard line there for of the Falcons. Saying less than 2, so.
And
Freddie
Thomas
Diab,
was
what you
subbed
thinking
out there.
Yep, sorry. Freddie Diab, what you thinking?
Well, they took out Thomas on that last play.
One man back, Hines in the backfield here on this 3rd and 2. And a flag down. And this doesn't help. Time count violation. We'll move it back 5, make it 3rd and 7. So this may make the decision a little bit easier. Maybe he did it on purpose here to try to give Masner a better angle.
Kick coming now. As the substitutions are made for that. Just under 9.5 to go.
They had Masner out there, but now they have a lot to go here for it here on 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7.
Trying to confuse the Falcons. Fumble there.
And that doesn't help the cause. And Tigers with their 2nd turnover of the day.
So it ends up not being the right call there. That'll be Falcon football.
Yeah, well, like if the thing is that for the Tigers, they probably weren't happy with the last 2 plays that they had. Of course, they had the time count violation and then the fumble, the barely botched snap there. So
yeah. It's a tough field position for the Falcons as they trot back out onto the field.
And it's like we've seen a couple safeties when they've been down here. So we'll see what McNamee has in store here for the Falcons here. And deep in their territory, 1st and 10. McNamee brings it out. Up the gut, has a little bit of an opening. And a nice little shoestring tackle there by Farrah Cuddy. Couple of nice moves by McNamee to at least get it out of close to their end zone, per se. So give them a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, and you see that one more time. Able to make the tackle.
It was actually Bo Dram, my apologies, and he's the man down there for the Tigers. And as soon as I say he's the man down, he quickly gets back up and on his own will make his way over to the sidelines for at least 3 plays.
Tigers trot back out now. Falcons yet to score against the Tigers this season, and with that being the potential playoff match for them, gotta think they're starting to get a little desperate to get a confidence booster before that playoff game.
McNamee, and that's enough to move the sticks.
Summerhays in on the tackle. First down, Falcons.
That tackle was made there by number 23, Drew Kinley, defensive back for the Tigers, lined up on our right side now.
1st and 10 from the 22. McNamee, empty backfield, up the middle once again, and smothered there by the gold and black jerseys. Might have got 4.
And what a large amount of rushes this game for Logan McNamee. It feels like he might think that it would be a pass play drawn up, but right away he decides to run most times. Second down now.
That's 2nd and 5. McNamee and the Falcons comes to the outside. Now we'll put it up, pass caught. And going back for it was Kirkpatrick. Caleb Kirkpatrick of his first reception of the afternoon. A very athleticism play to do it. Had to come from behind.
Yeah, another look at that one and had to think the Tigers thought McNamee was going to take off running, and as soon as he saw players run at him, Kirkpatrick started to open up a bit, and he was able to hit his man who dove to make that catch. Heavy set now on the right side, quads. Yeah.
McNamee once again to the outside.
They've loved that read option call from Scott McNamee,
Kuiper
the
first
head
on
coach.
Kuiper
worries.
first on the tackle. But I was going to say, too, that this is a very good, even though it's still early in the possession here for the Falcons, very good. They started from the depth of their own end zone, and they've got it up here to the 43-yard line.
So we have an injury on the field coming up now.
Ryan Kuiper down.
Yeah, but as we were mentioning at the start of this drive, we were talking about how the Falcons have been taking safeties in this game, and now with them entering midfield, it's been a good drive for them. Just under 6.5 to go, so it's still time to get some points on the board.
Well, this is a team that it's not the same team that they faced in, back on October 5th in that 64-0 game. It's not, because they had a really good game against Holland. They're starting to get points. Their offense has been getting stronger week after week. It may have not resulted in points, but it did result in points last week, and as Kuiper gets a round of applause. So, and talking to some of the Dalhousie football alumnus who've been following the team pretty much since its existence or since its rebirth, St. John Falcons yet to get a win against the Tigers, and the points are heavily favored of the Tigers. They've had about 360 and still believe 21 overall over a certain amount of time. So it's history's on the side, but this is a program that just is getting better. It's getting the numbers, and the numbers, based upon talking to like the commissioner of the AFL a couple of weeks ago, the numbers for football in New Brunswick going up, which means that the caliber is also getting better as well. As plays back, and this is incomplete there as Crowley can't catch that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had the chance to cover some of the U18 and U16 championships for football, and there was New Brunswick teams competing in both of those, and there was a great game between actually New Brunswick and Nova Scotia where New Brunswick was able to take the win. So it's good to see programs getting bigger out in that province, and have to see if any of those players will decide to come down and play for the Falcons.
Well, it's 3rd and 9.5, and Coach McNamee definitely not going to take any chances now. Has put the punting unit out. James back to get this kick here from Crowley, and he fields it right around the 35-yard line, and he turns on the Jets back up to midfield and down into Falcons territory, brought down by the 49.
Number 20.
Kareem James showing that he's got some moves.
Yeah, he hasn't touched the ball really at all in this game, and making a statement with that return. Just under 6 to go. Blazing past multiple Falcons defenders. See, offense trots out here now. They got Proser McDonald in at quarterback.
So this is the 3rd quarterback on the team as they hand it to Matt Thomas.
Proser McDonald, actually, quarterback I've commentated quite a bit. He was a part of a 6v6 football league that happened earlier this year for their first season, quarterback for the championship winning team, Fall River.
Thomas on the carry, good for about 7.
And one thing about Proser is he does like to roll out to the right side, but he also has a very good deep ball as well.
He's yet to get out to see that new turf field out at Fall River at the grounds of Lockview High yet.
Tackle there.
Matt Thomas again, so it's like pick your poison in this one.
Yeah, so many players on this Dalhousie team who can run. I mean, when you have 3 running backs who can run the ball as well with two quarterbacks normally taken apart of the game, as we've seen Gabriele. He was catching passes earlier in this game.
Southpaw, lots on this one. Incomplete as they were trying to hit Ethan Mason.
And that's that long ball I was talking about from McDonald just a minute ago. Left-handed quarterback.
But look at that frozen rope, but pretty much stride for stride with him was Josiah Cormier. We haven't had a chance to say this about Cormier, or we might have, but a lot's been going on. Defensive Player of the Week last week there for the Falcons. Pretty much stride for stride with Ethan Mason. They'll hand it off to Thomas. Cuts back into the middle.
Great second down run by Matthew Thomas there.
We'll leave about
They'll
a
get
third.
the first.
Yeah, we'll get the first down. So the first down starting to accumulate here for the Tigers. 3:43 left to go in this one. Falcons gave it a fight, especially like they turned the ball over a lot, so they were probably happy to be just down by 14 at the half. But Tigers with 18 points in this second half and looking to try to get some more here late in the fourth. Thomas ball carrier again.
And this is the second time this season, as you mentioned, that Matthew Thomas has been able to rack up the yards late in the game against the Falcons, and it's hard to believe that he's not getting carries near the start of the game with how good he's been running here.
Well, it's just sort of like you can see the Tigers' mentality. Next man up. If Gabriele's not going to quarterback, you go to Anderson, and then you go to McDonald. Here's the handoff, and nothing there for Thomas that time as we do the announcer's jinx and say, well, he's, unstoppable,
so good,
and then
right?
all of a sudden he just runs into the brick wall that was the Falcons. As the whistle blows 3 times, 3-minute warning, less than 3 minutes, 2:44 left to go. And the Tigers that closer to hosting the playoff game, and they'll be taking on the Falcons in the 1-4 match next weekend. The time and date still yet to be determined. McDonald. And
Able to
Thomas
bury
gets it in for the touchdown.
So another touchdown here for Dalhousie. Able to make it 38-0 with 2:20 to go. And they have to feel very confident going into this playoff matchup that they'll be able to make the finals.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that 2 versus 3 game.
It's going to be entertaining.
With UNB and Holland, especially with the result of yesterday, that has really allowed the Dow Tigers here to clinch first place here today, as the convert is good by Masner. And that Holland College Hurricane team has really gotten better just throughout the season as well. So that's not going to be a tough task. That's not going to be an easy task here for UNB. Probably slight favorites over Holland, but
yeah, it's hard to tell who's going to win that game, and if you're unsure about the records for those teams, Holland sitting at 3-3, UNB sitting at 4-2, and Dalhousie here moments away from getting to that 5-1 record. It's a great job by them here today.
They took care of business. They pretty much knew all they had to do was win, and we'd be hosting the playoffs throughout. So home field advantage in the AFL playoffs. Home field advantage. It doesn't get any better than that. And Tigers took care of business today. It looked a little bit shaky at the start. The offense had about 4 or 5 holding penalties and couldn't capitalize on the 3 4 turnovers that the Falcons had early in that game, but it's been a different second half here for the Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely. Second half really sealed the deal, and home field advantage being so big in league like this, and not something you think about all the time with the away team, but you know, it secures that Dalhousie will be able to sleep in their own beds at night, and that can be very important leading up to a big game, just being at home in your natural setting, where it can throw off a team like the Falcons. Just over 1:30 now.
I said that at a broadcast years and years ago. Pretty much right on the same thought that you have. Eating at your own table, sleeping in your own bed will just do wonders in terms of a home game for you, and that's what Dow will have for the next couple of weeks. 1st and 10. McNamee thought about putting it up and then decided to run up it. He stopped.
You see the excitement out of Kieran McCabe there, the linebacker. He was blitzing in there.
Well, if there's anything that is came good out of this Falcons game here today, is I mentioned last week about 8 sacks that the Tigers had over UNB in that game. There was only about a couple here for the Falcons here today that they surrendered to the Tigers. So their offensive line, basically should probably be their stars here today.
Yeah, them and along with their quarterback McNamee for sure, but he goes down again. Commentator curse coming in strong. Always does.
You didn't have it until you started working with me, and I'm known as the commentator curse. Just ask all the other broadcast people I've worked with in the past.
I've had a few, trust me, working with Connor McKinnon for sure. I've definitely jinxed my fair share, but be one last play here. Most likely kneel this one out.
This will be the final play. As McNamee puts his knee down. Dell Tigers with a convincing 39-0 win over the Falcons. Dalhousie goes to 5-1 and will finish the season first place in the AFL standings, and the St. John Falcons go to 0-6.
So that sets it in stone now that Dalhousie will be playing the St. John Falcons, and UNB will be taking on Holland, and should be some very exciting semifinal matchups. Dalhousie, if they can take down the Falcons for the 3rd time this season, will have the home field advantage going into the finals matchup. So still unsure about what day that game will be on and a time, but will be posted on socials, I believe, as soon as it is found out, and be back here on the call for sure, me. And I just want to say a quick thanks to everybody on the team today for Kaylee producing, Brooklyn on graphics, and then our camera people, Liam, Melvin, and Ella. It's been a great game here over on Maritime Athletic Profiles.
All right, perfect way. And we'll be back with Brendan Hines to wrap it up. Tigers with a convincing 39 to win over the Falcons. Back in just a couple of moments here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. And welcome back to Wickwire Field. We got Brennan Hines. Congratulations on the win. What's your thoughts going right on?
Just focusing on the next game, moving past and just doing what we did.
Okay, you're one of the graduating players, so you've had some great moments here for the Tigers. What stands out for you so far is you basically you had your last home game of the regular season, but you got possibly two more coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So what's some of the memories that you've had?
Just everybody on the team. We're such a family, and we all look after each other, and, we're all basically one, and we all want to do the same thing and go out and win.
Now, Ethan's got a question here for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys will be taking on the Falcons one more time here in the semifinal matchup, putting up some touchdowns today. What can you guys do to recreate this performance here in the next game?
Just playing our game, not trying to do stuff out of our scheme, and just playing as a team and doing our 1/12 of everyone doing their 1/12 of their part.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, you've also had a very great offensive line throughout the year that seems to have gone really underneath the radar. Give them some flowers here today with their performance, not just today, but the season as well.
Yeah, they're great. They always want to improve, and they always help everything. And the O-line is like most important spot on the team. Block on the runs and pass pro, and they just got to watch out for everything. So yeah, they're great.
Now, basically, you guys' success was the ground attack. It didn't matter whether it was you or whether it was Kwong or Thomas. Tell us about you've got so many solid running backs, and to be all of a sudden to get a chance to play. Talk about how great it is to be playing on a team that's got so much depth.
Yeah, it's great. Whenever one of us are doing good and get tired, fresh running back goes in, and it means that we always have someone who's able to make plays on the field at all times. So, yeah.
Well, you said that you weren't great at this, but you had a great game, but you were great with the interview, Brennan. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, Q. Brennan Hines here. So, Ethan, let's get some final thoughts here in this one. We're going to see these same two teams next week here. Basically, Tigers going to be the heavy favorites here, but what are we going to expect here out of playoff football next week?
Yeah, we have to expect that, like we mentioned just in that interview, that the Dalhousie O-line is going to come out strong again, try to keep up, not getting those penalties like they did earlier, but we'll see what they can do to get going against St. John.
Well, it's fantastic working the game with you, so thanks a lot. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, so for Ethan Greenham and the rest of the Maritime Athletic Profile crew, my name is Dan Hobson. Thank you for tuning in, and so long from Wickwire Field.
We get it. We've been there.
We know how hard it is to be under pressure.
People are watching you and holding you accountable.
We know what it's like to be called out.
Expectations are set, and it's hard to even show up.
Whatever you do, don't let your guard down.
In these moments, we challenge you to rise up.
It's okay to crush a water.
Keep it social.
Audio Smoke.